Hello, everybody. Welcome to my channel. I am back to talk about, we know that there have been scientists who are missing, who have been unalived. There are people who believe they're in a bunker and that they're not really unalive like what you think because something is coming. There are people saying that they put it in films, and we're going to go over that. But one of the most famous scientists that you heard about that's no longer here on Earth is Amy Eskridge. She was studying anti-gravity, and a couple of the other scientists were studying gravity, plasma, UFOs, asteroids, comets, and they're no longer here. And there's a growing number in different countries. So basically, Amy said that the aliens that you know of, let's think of the Greys. We see the Greys as the most famous aliens for abductions and people who people describe. She said that they're us in the future. Now, there are people who believe they are demons from an interdimensional portal known as hell and things. And other people said, no, this is us in the future. There's something called Project Bluebeam that I'm going to show a little bit of. I can't play the whole thing. It was hard to understand the gray, but I'm going to link it as the first comment so you can see the video. But they said that some sort of calamity is going to happen in the very near future, our lifetime right now, that human beings are going to go underground. There's going to be some on the surface that survive and those underground. Amy said you have the P47's and the P52's. P47's is present day plus 47,000 years. P52 is present day plus 52,000 years. It says that for the P47's, they're the descendants of us that survived a global catastrophe that happened on Earth. They had hinted to a nuclear war, not necessarily a comet, but that they ended up underground. Now, some people might think, could we really become advanced with time travel and spaceships in 47,000 years after a calamity? But here's the thing. What do you see in the film? Usually the top scientists, doctors, scientists, builders of society, people who know how to garden, the best of the best go underground. There's already allegedly underground cities. So having the knowledge from today, having the best from today, going underground and keeping humanity going underground. Okay. And within 47,000 years, you're underground, you don't have sunlight and all of this, you have these mutations. Plus, the people up top on the surface, radiation, deformities, not being able to reproduce. Okay, so they're saying that they have learned time travel to come back to our time to warn us about what's going to come in the very near future. Project Bluebeam was recorded in like the 1950s or something. They said basically around this time or coming up soon that this happens. And I don't know for sure. I don't know. I think that anything could be possible, but they're saying that the aliens are actually us. It's not like coming from another galaxy like what you think of because of what's going to happen in your lifetime on Earth that's going to cause this, and they don't want this to happen. So let me be quiet. Let's look at what Amy Estridge has to say about it, as well as a few videos from some films that I love that have a common theme in them. I want you to pay attention.
The ultra-terrestrials, I'll just tell you. The ultra-terrestrials, I think, have you heard of the P52's and the P47's? Do you know what that is? They're us from the future. They're from here. They are you. They are me. They're from here, from the future. P47 is present plus 47,000 years. P52 is present plus 52,000 years. And basically there's a calamity, right? So there's like a apocalypse scenario in the near future. It wipes out most of like everything, man. And there's the ones that go underground and survive, right? And then there's the ones that somehow stay on the surface and miraculously don't die.
Okay, recording. State on origin. Okay, yesterday you told us you traveled, and I quote, thousands of light years to get here. Yes. Tell us the truth, or the word, or the belief. Catastrophe.
They used to be human. They destroyed their world. They had to mutate to survive into what we now see as the Greys. They lost the ability to reproduce. They had to shift into other parallel realities where human DNA was still viable, like ours, and use that to create hybrids to perpetuate their culture.
Has this come to you in bits and pieces over the years? Was this an early...
No, he did lay this out a few years ago, but more and more detail has been coming out over the years about why this is happening, how it's happening, and why they're helping us. They're noticing we're making the same mistakes, and they don't want us to have to make the same mistakes and do the same thing that turned their reality into the Greys.
Humans are trying to figure out right now how to coexist on a planet that has shared resources, and we cannot for the life of us work collectively as a species.
Right.
Big problem.
Okay, so, all right, everybody. So now let's get into these three films that I love a lot. We have The Time Machine, The Descent, and Interstellar. I said before that sometimes, and a lot of you know this, that they will put things in film. You don't get the full story, but if you put everything together, what do you notice? People going underground, time travel, humans evolving differently, eating human beings, and that's something you see in these films. So again, you might be able to see this on Hulu, Amazon, also buy the DVD, Tubi. Okay, so The Descent Part 1 and 2 is on Tubi. Interstellar might be on Tubi, but let me tell you, okay, I don't want to tell you everything, but with the time machine, a guy invents the time machine. He goes 800,000 years into the future, and basically a calamity had happened where humans ended up underground. There were some who stayed on the surface, and now there are two different species of humans. The Descent, the women go in a cave that they think has never been discovered, but basically that's not the truth. Human beings from very long ago evolved down there differently. Common theme in these films, Midnight Meat Train and others, eating human beings, evolving separately. Interstellar, the greatest film I've ever seen. It might be on Tubi, it might be on Hulu. You have to see it. Basically, humans are becoming extinct. We have to find another home planet in a different galaxy. They thought it was aliens who were helping us, only to find out basically the human beings were actually us in the future. So check out these clips.
Where's your designated evacuation center?
Sir, you are subject to arrest under martial law.
Please put your hands out, sir. Palms together. You will be held in detention until your evacuation center clears you for transport. Just take it easy. Take it easy.
Hey, we gotta get out of here! Wait, what? How did this happen?
The moon. Come on, move it.
That's impossible. What happened?
What, you've been living under a rock?
Yes, I've been living under a rock. Now tell me.
The demolitions for the lunar colony screwed up the orbit, okay? The moon's breaking up, all right? Come on.
Oh. Hey, forget it. Come on.
We weren't always like this. After the moon fell from the sky, the Earth could no longer sustain the species. Some managed to stay above. The rest of us escaped underground. Then centuries later, when we tried to re-emerge into the sun again, we couldn't. So we bred ourselves into castes. Some to be our eyes and ears, some to be our muscles and sinews.
Oh, you mean you're hunters?
Yes. Bred to be predators, but bred also to be controlled, you see. My caste concentrated on expanding our cerebral abilities.
You control their thoughts.
Not just theirs.
Eloy. So it's not enough that you hunt them down like animals.
That's their role here.
To be your food.
Yes. And for those who are suitable to be breeding vessels for our other colonies. You see, I'm just one of many.
I don't understand how you can sit there and speak so coldly about this. Have you not considered the human cost of what it is you're doing?
We all pay a price. Alexander. Don't worry, you're safe. I control them. Without that control, they would exhaust the food supply in a matter of months.
Food supply. They're human beings.
Who are you to question 800,000 years? Of evolution. You are the inescapable result of your tragedy. Just as I am the inescapable result of you.
But I believe what was once one race is now two. One above and one below. Two distinct species that have evolved.
Except I put in a flight plan for Borum Caverns, and this isn't Borum Caverns, is it, Juno?
We're in the wrong fucking cave.
Holly was right. Borum Caverns was a tourist trap.
Don't try and pin this fucking shite on me.
This is not caving, this is an ego trip.
Come on, Rebecca, I didn't know this was gonna happen. This is exactly what we believe in. We've always said if there's no risk, what's the point?
Well, don't try and justify this. Where are we?
It hasn't got a name. It's a new system. I wanted us all to discover it. No one's ever been down here before.
Fucking kidding me.
Come on.
Look at me. There's nothing there.
Dead animals. Hundreds of them. This is not good, guys.
Can we get out of here?
Which way?
Come on.
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
There's no breeze. It could be any one of these tunnels. Take your pick.
Oh, fuck it. Hello!
Please.
Is there anybody there? Hello!
I don't know. But it does look human.
Come on. We need to find the way out before those things play.
No. Sam, tell us what we're fighting.
Well, they're totally blind. And judging from what we've seen, I'd say they use sound to hunt with. Like a bat. And they've evolved perfectly to live down here in the dark.
Explain to me how you found this facility.
Kind of accidentally, sort of stumbled upon it. We were on a salvage run. We came
You're
across
sitting in the
fence.
best kept secret in the world. Nobody stumbles in here.
Coordinates from an anomaly.
What's gravity?
Don't you know who we are, Coop?
No, Professor, I don't.
You know, my father, Professor Brand. We're NASA.
We call him Will Die. Soon.
What your plan is to save the world.
We're not meant to save the world. We're meant to leave it.
You sent people out there looking for a new home?
The Lazarus missions.
There's not a planet in our solar system that can sustain life, and the nearest star is over 1,000 years away. I mean, that doesn't even qualify as futile. Where'd you send them?
Cooper, I can't tell you any more unless you agree to pilot this craft. But something sent you here. They chose you.
Well, who's they?
We survived. Somewhere in their fifth dimension, they saved us.
What the hell is they? And just why they want to help us, huh?
I don't know, but they constructed this three-dimensional space inside their five-dimensional reality to allow you to understand it.
Hell, that ain't working.
Yes, it is. You've seen that time is represented here as a physical dimension.
Gravity can cross the dimensions. We've got to figure something out, all right? The people on Earth are gonna die. Think.
Cooper, they didn't bring us here to change the past. They didn't bring us here to change the past.
We brought ourselves. They didn't choose me, they chose her.
For what, Cooper?
To save the world. They have access to infinite time and space, but they're not bound by anything. They can't find a specific place in time. They can't communicate. That's why I'm here. I'm gonna find a way to tell Murph, just like I found this moment. The watch. That's it. We code the data into the movement of the second hand. Translate the data into Morse and feed it to me. Doing for Murph. They're doing for me. For all of us.
Cooper, people couldn't build this.
No, not yet. But one day. Not you and me, but a people. A civilization that's evolved past the four dimensions we know. What happens now?
All right, everybody. So that is it. I love these films so much. You need to check them out. You can see them right here on YouTube as movie reactions. So let's just look at a few more clips of what they're saying about the gray aliens and the P54's and P52's.
So this is probably some of the elites from the future. Some of the scientists that went missing or that was unalive. Some of them thought that aliens are from the future. They're saying they got like this from being underground for so many years. They say if you're underground for too long, you can develop a bald head, lose all your hair, your eyes can blow up, and you might look like this. So let's say this is actually what's happening. Why are they here now? Why are they here in 2026? Does this catastrophic event happen very soon or something? Is that why they're back? Trying to tell us or trying to stop it? And if the catastrophic event is about to happen, is it what's going on in the Middle East right now? Is it going to be tied to World War III? Is that why so many elites, so many hired people that has the money got the bunkers? Why they been prepping for something? Is this what it is? Are those going to be the ones that's the aliens eventually? Some of the people that have babies on the ground? Y'all let me know how y'all feel about this down below in the comments. This shit crazy.
Okay, these P47's and P52's are totally chopped, but who are they? Well, these are the claims that the late Amy Eskridge discussed before she was unalived, claiming that the beings that we call aliens might not be aliens after all. They may be us from the future, Ultraterrestrials. And they kind of look like this famous painting from Edvard Munch. Anyway, P47 and P52 meaning present plus 47,000 years and 52,000 years respectively. And the reason they exist supposedly starts with an apocalypse level event in our near future. This calamity wipes out almost everything, and humanity splits into two groups. One goes underground, the P47's, and the other, the P52's, somehow manage to survive on the surface. Over tens of thousands of years, they evolve in different ways. The underground ones become what we know as the Greys, and the surface survivors, the P52's, remain more human-looking, although they grow taller, and these could be seen as the Nordic-style aliens that people talk about. And these two types are the most commonly reported alien species from contactees. And then both of these groups independently managed to invent UFO craft and time travel, and decided to go back to our time. But for what reason? Well, if you've heard of Project Looking Glass, this might make sense, but if you haven't, it's basically said to have been this top secret program where scientists invented a device that could look into the future. And what they saw was this unavoidable future catastrophe, and no matter what was done to change the timeline in our present day, the outcome was always the same. It's like something that has to happen to us. So maybe the P47's and P52's are here to make sure this event happens, or maybe they're trying to alter the timeline in some way, or for some other reason entirely. Now, I'm not saying that that's what these beings are, because there are a lot of different theories as to what the true nature is about aliens and the UFO phenomena, but what do you think?
If you had to ask my professional conspiracy theory opinion on why the P52's came back, I would say it would be to potentially stop or prevent a pole shift. It does not scream nuclear event to me, mostly because if a P52, a genetically modified descendant of us humans, could come back from the future to the Earth, you would assume that they would have the technology to stop a world war like that from decimating their Earth. They technically wouldn't be here, in theory. Time travel theory, just making this up. Our poles have been moving for decades, and this is primarily due to climate change, or that's what they say. They say that the addition of the water from places like Antarctica and glaciers around the Earth is pouring into the ocean and adding weight and redistributing the weight in the Earth, which is making the Earth wobble on its axis. And in my mind, if we were going to choose why you would genetically modify your DNA to survive on the Earth, I feel like a pole shift after 20 to 100 years, it might be somewhat of a livable environment. And when I say livable, I mean you can come up and then go back down underground. I don't mean you can primarily live there like we do now. But when you think about nuclear war, a world war, that seems like total decimation of the environment that would take thousands, hundreds of thousands of years to recover from. I think it's due to climate change. I think they're here to stop climate change and a pole shift. Sounds simple, but that makes the most sense to me.
When I said that I think the government's hiding something from us, everyone's like, there's no way that all the governments could collude. Like, whatever. Let's say that they were, okay? Because I think people are just way too naive about this. This is a good comment, actually. So here's the thing, dude. This is probably not an Earth killer asteroid, but let's say it hits Earth and NASA says nothing. You think people will just shrug their shoulders after that? They will come unglued to the fact. He actually continues in this comment, you can't see the whole thing, that people will no longer trust any authorities because now they're like, you guys were lying to us this whole time. So what I think would happen most likely in this scenario is kind of like what happens in Don't Look Up, where the government would eventually come out and tell us, but way later than after they found out, so that they still can get some credibility back. But in the meantime, what would they do? Because yes, people will come unglued because they'll eventually find out that they knew this a lot longer. That's why the whole AI Palantir surveillance state is being installed. Because then you can control people. You can distribute military all across the country and all across the world to ensure that any uprisings are quickly dealt with. So, yeah, I think that's a fair argument, but that's how I think that would be handled.
I think we're starting to see the glimmers of what the Great Deception will be. Watch this video and then let's talk about it.
So the Ultraterrestrials, I'll just tell you. The Ultraterrestrials, I think, have you heard of the P52's and the P47's? Do you know what that is? They're us from the future. They're from here. They are you. They are me. They're from here, from the future. P47 is present plus 47,000 years. P52 is present plus 52,000 years. And basically there's a calamity, right? So there's like a apocalypse scenario in the near future. It wipes out most of like everything, man. And there's the ones that go underground and survive, right? And then there's the ones that somehow stay on the surface and miraculously don't die.
Okay, so first let's talk about who she is. She's one of the 11 scientists that have gone missing that was working with anti-gravity technology. She frequently stated that they're going to fake her own, done to herself. And she said that before it happened. But the things she's describing remind me of Revelation. And we know angels can pose as a human being. So, of course, they would lie and be like, oh, we're from the future. Because in the Bible it tells you you can host an angel and not even know. But in Revelation it says that the people will hide in the caves and pray for the rocks to fall so that they can hide them from the face of the Lamb. And I keep thinking about the $21 trillion underground city they've built that was spoken about, and I forget who it was in government, but they let the cat out of the bag, like I think it was last year. So if they had knowledge of this for a while, like she did, I could see why they were preparing this $21 trillion underground city, which again aligns perfectly with Revelation. So I wouldn't believe that these are people from the future. I would believe that these are fallen angels posing as people from the future. And when she talks about the people on the surface and barely any of them living, yeah, that's what's happening in end times. Like all the sea life dies, like a third of this and a third of that. And there's like basically nobody left at the end. Just a small group of people that actually survive it. So it's very strange, right? This could be the whole disclosure thing unraveling. But then we have the whole alien situation, how we think they're going to use that to explain away the rapture. But I'm beginning to see some of these threads of the Great Deception. And what better way to unveil it to the world than have them think they're on some great mystery that they discovered. And really, they're just unraveling a lie that's been told by the fallen. And who knows, maybe they believe it themselves, but I have a feeling, since we've seen the Epstein files and know who they worship, that they're quite aware of the full plan. Maybe not all of them, but there's someone in the group that's aware, because we are like lockstepping our way straight into the book of Revelation right now. So I'm going to keep watching this unravel. Are you? Love you all. Bye.
Check it out. I don't have a whole lot of time, right? But a lot of things correlate together. Look it up. Google it. Do whatever you got to do. Do your research. Apophis. Coming in 2029. Going to be the closest asteroid ever to fly by the Earth, at least in our lifetimes. It's going to come closer than the satellites that circle the planet. There was NASA missions back in the day. There was one called APEP, translates to Apophis. They went in space to do something. The one recently, Artemis 2, they went around the moon. At least that was what the cover was, right? A couple other things. Scientists disappearing, right? Maybe they're smart, maybe they know the calculations. Maybe they were the ones that calculated that Apophis was gonna actually hit the Earth, and they got silenced, right? So check it out. A lot of things lining up. And it would make absolute sense that the whole reason freaking Trump wanted Greenland so much is because of the movie Greenland, because he's an idiot and he thinks that Greenland's probably the safest place for everybody to survive an asteroid hit. Now, it's not a planet killer by any means, but it is enough to fuck up some stuff. So, like I said, it's all connected. Apophis, the space missions, what Russia's talking about now with putting a nuke in space, you know, all this other stuff, it all correlates. The rush for oil, the bunker under the White House, all that kind of stuff. Do your research. The meteors that have been coming in, precursor to something bigger. Okay? It could happen. Be careful though, because like I said, they're whacking guys, they're offing guys, they're whacking off guys. Watch out.
So Amy Eskridge shared with us that the P47's and P52's are longtime descendants of ours from 47,000 and 57,000 years in the future, the ones who were not ascended in a cataclysmic or rapturous style event. So it's going to be your billionaires who went underground and probably rapists and pillagers who were able to survive on the Earth's surface. A very hills have eyes type situation. These are going to be your low density type people, low density, lower vibrational state, not able to ascend in higher vibrational states into the 4D and 5D as light beings or energetic beings or angels. If we combine David Wilcox's prediction that there is a very near future cataclysmic or rapturous style event in which higher vibrational people are going to ascend into 4D and 5D states, light beings, energetic beings, and also piece together how much of our history has been kept from us. So I want you to think about current light beings, current angels, what we know about the type of person, the type of energy that was sentenced to Earth. Maybe they're hiding evidence of survival from centuries past, many centuries past, people in Antarctica, in the Antarctic ice. Maybe we're currently very long time descendants of whomever was left earthbound in a long time past cataclysmic or rapturous style event. Maybe this is just a cycle we keep going through because the type of person who survives on Earth is the type of person to create a power and system of control and really negative and low vibrational type things. And as always, God and angels and light beings are here to help us in our ascension. And as always, the ones left on Earth continue to create these systems that we have to eventually be saved from.
So that is it for this video. What do you believe? Do you believe that this is us 47,000 years from today? In 52,000 years, do you believe that these are demons from the hell portal? You don't believe that different species or anything like this could possibly happen? We don't know the whole truth. I mean, there is something else people think is coming, and I'm going to talk about that very soon. And around 2029, 2030. I don't know for sure, but this is very interesting. They're saying again, they're not from other galaxies and planets like you think. They're not all, well, some people say interdimensional, but maybe, but they're saying this is us in the future. This is from a catastrophe going underground. So that is it. I want to know, what do you think about all of this? Please like, share, and subscribe. If you have any movie recommendations that ties into this, humans being underground, evolution, time travel, alien hybrid stuff, all that stuff, drop it in the comment section for us to know about some of these films, okay? So you all take care. Bye, everybody.